So if you just tuned into my garden tour video, you probably heard me mention that some of my plants are turning yellow, specifically my sunflowers and my peppers. At first I thought that this could be a watering issue. Because it was so hot last week, I was watering the garden twice a day, and I know that peppers and sunflowers don't like to have their feet wet, so at first I figured that could be the issue, especially because I'm doing the no-till garden method. I wondered if that water wasn't able to drain because the cardboard was there. So I stopped watering my peppers and sunflowers just to see if that dried out soil, improved their condition, and I didn't see any improvement. So I decided to get the soil tested. So it turns out that this soil, or compost actually, it's an organic compost that I got, has a really high pH. So the pH is 7.9, which is super alkaline or basic. And it's also lacking in micronutrients as well. So we're lacking in every micronutrient that they measured. So I think it's a combination of the high pH and the lack of micronutrients that's what's causing the yellowing of these plants. So I decided to try to fix my soil or amend it to lower the pH to get it to more of, I don't want to say neutral, because to lower it that much would be quite a big job, but just to lower it a little bit, which will make it easier for the plants to take up the micronutrients in the soil, and then also to add micronutrients to the soil, so there's something there for the plants to actually take up. So I bought some, this is an organic soil acidifier. It's used for, blueberries and hydrangeas. It has sulfur in it. Normally there's elemental sulfur fertilizers that apparently can take months for them to actually work and acidify your soil, but this one's supposed to be a fast acting one. So I'm going to try it out and see if I notice any difference. And then I also got, I had this organic kelp fertilizer as well. So last night I made up a solution in a spray bottle, which I had here, and I applied this as a foliar spray last night. Of course, it's only been just a day, so I don't notice a difference yet. So I'm gonna give these foliar spray, I think it says every 10 to 15 days. And then I'm also gonna do it as a root application, so that's when I'll add it to my watering cans and water it in. But because I still don't know if it's a watering issue, I'm not gonna water it in today because I do want their feet, if you will, to dry out a little bit. But I'm gonna prep the bed and show you what I'm gonna do. So the instructions on this say to add 15 to 30 grams or 1 to 2 tablespoons per plant and cultivate into the soil, and then to water in, and to reapply every 1 to 2 months if soil pH needs further adjustment. So I'm gonna try this with these sunflowers here. These are gonna be my test sunflowers, and the other two beds also have rows of sunflowers at the back, so I can use it kind of to see if I notice any difference between this row and the two behind you. And then I'll also do this for some of the peppers that I know are turning yellow, just to see if I see an improvement. So I'm just gonna open this. Ooh. And it said 1 to 2 tablespoons per plant, so it's pretty pelleted here. So I'm just gonna kind of work it around and get it into the soil around the plants. And I'm gonna just take these weeds out. There's a squirrel running around behind the garden here. Ooh. So just trying to get this around the plant as best as I can without getting it too close to the roots, because apparently this sulfur can burn. Okay, so I'll water those in and I'll keep you posted on the results of this little amendment test. I'm gonna go do the peppers now. This pepper here is the one that I noticed the yellowing the most on, so I'm gonna do a little application here. And this is the only pepper I'm gonna test. The other ones don't look too bad right now. If they do get worse, I think I'll also do a little application there, but I'm just gonna test this out to see if I notice any difference. And I'm gonna water this one in and I will keep you posted. If you have dealt with this issue, I'd love to hear from you. I wanna know what you did it work? And yeah, I'm hoping that this doesn't last too long. I'm hoping that as the roots grow for these plants and they are able to kind of pierce through the cardboard and get into the soil, my native soil of this garden, I'm really hoping that this will improve the situation, because I've never had this situation in my garden before. This is definitely just because of the compost that I got. So fingers crossed the growing season isn't messed up because of this. All the other plants do look pretty normal. I think it is just gonna be the peppers and sunflowers. So I will keep you posted. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I will keep you updated as things progress throughout the year.